You may begin whenever you're ready.
All right, class, I did a speech on dreaming, and here it is. So, I'm going to start this speech off with a quote, and it is, "When we are asleep in this world, we are awake in another," and that quote is by Salvador Dali. Dreaming is something that we all have in common, and I invite you to think of your experiences you have with dreaming, because they're so multifaceted, it's crazy that, none of us ever have to dream the same thing twice. Or as one another, let me be clear. The fact that we all dream says that at a core level it is part of our biology as humans, and to this day our understanding of dreams is still very shrouded in mystery, to say the least. There are many theories out there to why we dream, and the brainwave frequencies we are in when we dream. To me, dreaming is like a free psychedelic trip every night in its own right. They take you on an adventure. Alright. So now, I'm going to move on. Every day, our brains take on a wealth of information, and this information plays a role in how our thoughts and actions influence us on like a subconscious, unconscious level. Most of our actions throughout the day are on a subconscious level. We don't even think about it, like breathing, eating, say what you want about it. It's kind of just how it is. Our brains do this to conserve energy, and it is theorized that dreaming is a reflection of our everyday thoughts and experiences being projected on the screen of space in our minds while we're asleep, which could probably explain why, if you think about something enough, all of a sudden you end up dreaming about it in some weird way, shape, or form. You're stressed about something, you might have a dream that ends up you're fighting something, etc., etc. So tying into that last paragraph, according to an article entitled "Dream Power," another hypothesis of dreaming is that it is involved in our memory storage. Think of the brain like a supercomputer making all these crazy calculations and inputs all the time. All that information has to go somewhere. It is theorized that like a computer, our brains dream this to store this data, so to speak, to make room for new experiences and optimize its power usage every day. It kind of makes you question whether we live in a simulation or not. Dreaming is closely related to our brainwave states. So we have like 5 different brainwave states we go throughout the day, and it's gamma, beta, alpha, theta, and delta. Don't worry about gamma, that's actually the highest, and that one's kind of shrouded in mystery, but basically right now you guys are in beta or alpha. Beta is like high processing thinking, but not relaxed, and then once you drop down to the alpha brainwave state, it's when you're actually almost into a flow state and you're cool, calm, and relaxed. So basically kind of like when you're in a state of flow. When it comes to dreaming though, that's where our brains start to enter the theta and delta wave frequencies. And an interesting side note is that individuals who are skilled in the practice of meditation also reach these brainwave states, which is kind of crazy because it's almost superficial, and it kind of, like I said, I wrote it. Once our brains enter these ranges, it's where daydreaming can start to occur, and our minds enter almost a hallucinatory state, and strong emotions can be felt. Crazy, right? So yeah, in conclusion, dreaming is such a fascinating subject to study, yet is something that can only be experienced on a personal level. Indeed, this does create a problem for scientists as they cannot verify, for example, that you even had a dream in the first place. In reality, don't worry so much about why we dream, instead just enjoy them. To summarize, dreaming is universal across humans, so to say at the very least, it's got to have some type of meaning to us at a very core level. It seems like the more we start to understand our brain as a whole, the more questions we are left asking. With dreaming, the questions raised are why, the answers are many, and all I do is ask you to come up with your own hypothesis.